Civilian firefighters working for the Navy are blowing the whistle. They say they are understaffed, overworked, and burned out.
Federal Firefighter Union officials say they feel helpless at this point. They also tell us they've reached out to Navy officials and lawmakers, but their staff numbers aren't going up. 13 News Now reporter Jacqueline Lee investigates this issue.
Firefighters I spoke with call this staffing shortage tremendous. They say it's impacting safety, morale, and overall is detrimental to the department. As a parent, it's all about the little moments. And Jody Kennedy worries her husband Jake is missing too many of them. Their boys notice.
He'll go look at the calendar. Well, today is Monday, so Daddy should be home on this day, right? And I'm like, yes. So he'll count down. And if he gets that phone call in the morning and I have to tell him Daddy's stuck at work again, he gets upset.
Jody's husband Jake is a civilian firefighter with the Navy. But the Tidewater region is facing a firefighter staffing shortage, 44 people short of 290. So firefighters like Jake are picking up the extra shifts.
He's just so exhausted. He just does a lot.
Oh, C Street.
Speaking on behalf of all the firefighters through the Tidewater Federal Firefighters Union is President Tim Welsh. He says the schedule is supposed to be 24 hours on, 24 hours off, totaling 4 shifts in 1 week. Instead, he said this year, firefighters are regularly working 6 days out of 7. And the Navy admits on 12 occasions this year, some firefighters worked 5 24-hour shifts in a row.
They're exhausted right now. So mentally, are they sharp enough to be able to respond to calls? Are they sharp enough to be able to do that? And the fatigue factor, it's mentally draining and physically as well.
In May and June, union officials sent a series of letters to every commanding officer at each Navy installation in Hampton Roads and every member of the House and Senate Armed Services Committees, calling this a scary trend of excessive overtime.
There's a public safety concern. When people pick up the phone and dial 911, they expect 100% all the time, not 75%, not 80%.
Acting Fire Chief Kevin Janey argues not all of the overtime is mandatory. Some is voluntary.
Sometimes safety is a double-edged sword. We're required to have minimum staffing just so we can have enough personnel to manage an emergency.
They ask us in the morning, do you want your overtime? Well, what are you going to say? I mean, if you say no, you're still going to get hit. So guys, just say yes.
Captain Monty Ashleman, Director of Operations and Public Safety for Navy Region Mid-Atlantic, which spans 20 states, said he's aware of the excessive overtime issue.
By working 72 hours, being off 24 hours, and then returning to work again for 72 hours, do you feel that that is safe?
The ultimate answer is absolutely. We are absolutely safe in going out there and doing, or the firefighters, doing their daily job of protecting our assets, of the people, the facilities, and the equipment that's out there.
Keeping the fire department at full staff has been an ongoing issue. Take a look. The staffing shortage spiked in 2015 with 46 vacancies. The numbers dipped, then rose back up in 2018 to 44. Making matters worse, the onboarding process is taking longer, up to 8 months for each new firefighter to pass drug tests, physicals, and get necessary security clearances. Ashleman says it hasn't always taken this long, and much of that is outside Navy Region Mid-Atlantic's control.
Can you clarify that for me? Because if you say that it has not historically been 8 months, why is it now 8 months?
Why I don't know. Why it's 8 months right now. I know there are certainly, everybody is feeling the stress of a lack of manpower.
It comes down to an HR finger pointing game, we're still sitting back working the overtime. It doesn't seem like anybody wants to fix it.
A reality that the families at home say just isn't fair.
Something's got to give, though. They can't keep making the guys do what they're doing.
Navy Region Mid-Atlantic developed a pilot program in June to shorten the onboarding process to less than 6 weeks. Currently, 11 new hires are going through the onboarding process. Jacqueline Lee, 13 News Now.